What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Foregone. Today we're going to be doing some tests with the 1000 Blow set on Luke and on Akuma. These two characters, and there's going to be specific reasons as to why I'm going to choose these two characters, and we'll get into it here in a little bit, guys. But the first thing that I want you guys to notice is that with the 1000 Blow set, my Akuma has 129,000 CP or combat power, and as many of you already know, there's multiple game modes in this game. Chapter 5 demo space, whenever it comes back, it's not currently in the game right now. They actually have CP requirements, or even halls of elements, right? Halls of elements not so much, because when you got characters with dot explosion, you can actually kind of bypass a lot of the requirements and still do insanity damage. But Chapter 5, it's an absolute must, and Chapter 5 is where you can gain quite a few rubies and game materials, so you can get moon and star shaped stones, these stones right here from the crafting events or from crafting. And if you look at the CP, guys, we got 129,000 CP, and say I slap on this set right here, right? I'll slap on the free Rush Dungeon set that we have, right? All the same cards, all the same cooldown cards, and so on. Now we're at 128,000 CP. So already the free set that they give you pretty much almost gives you the exact amount of CP as the banner set, which is kind of crappy, guys. I mean, that really is kind of crappy, because in the Dead or Alive 6 collaboration and the Guilty Gear collaboration, they gave us card sets that did only work specifically on those collaboration characters that added an insane amount of CP. This card set, the 1000 Blow set, doesn't, which that sucks. That's kind of a bum thing about it. Now, the question you're probably asking yourself, well, is it stronger than, say, the Rush Dungeon set? And the reason I chose Akuma and Luke is because, one, Akuma does have burn, right? I mean, Ryu, Akuma, and Chun-Li are all going to benefit from this because they all have these relevant dots respective to this card set, right? But Luke and Bison have darkness and starlight, so they don't get this buff by 75%, which is kind of wacky, but they did it, I guess, so that way people would have more incentive to pull in the banner for the 1000 Blow set. And we're going to see today if the free set right here is actually better on a character like Akuma, especially since it has burn, compared to the 1000 Blow set, right? The 1000 Blow set actually just adds damage to the Street Fighters, right? Let me see if I can find it. I think I passed it up. There we go. It adds damage to the Street Fighters, right? Increases Street Fighter active skill damage by 25%, and then increase attack by 20% for 5 seconds when the Street Fighter lands an active skill, which is 45% increase of attack, which is nice. And then on top of the extra 3 cards, it's 21% more extra attack. And you do have this immunity right here, right? It becomes immune to damage for 3 seconds when the Street Fighter's HP is 10% or less. And that's on 35% cooldown. Good for a little extra survivability. We have a card set already available in the game called the Akane set that actually gives you some immunity as well when you get down to 1% HP. This set right here, whenever you get down to 1% HP, you are immune for 2 seconds. It's not as good as a 1000 Blow set as far as survivability, but you're going to find, guys, throughout the game, having that immunity would be beneficial at times and could be helpful, but is it really worth the cost to pull for the 1000 Blow set? Well, that's what we're going to find out. Now, the reason I'm also choosing Luke is because Luke has Starlight, so he isn't going to benefit from that 1000 Blow set as much because it doesn't, or from the Rush Dungeon set, because it doesn't have any Starlight on it, right? But maybe the 1000 Blow set would be the best. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to test it against the Merlin set, because the Merlin set actually does have Starlight damage, right? So we're going to see which set is actually best. So we're going to jump into Dungeon of Trials here, and we're going to see what happens, okay? Now, the first test we're going to do is we'll just go ahead and start with Luke, okay? And again, I'll show you guys the build real quick. Thing takes a little time. We have the Merlin set. We got these 2 cooldown cards. It really isn't going to matter if I have defense and cooldown. It really doesn't matter. But we have the Merlin set, right? And we have 2 Imprint Stones on. I am going to level up Luke a little bit further. I probably will end up taking him to A3. But we're going to spam this rotation 1 time, and then we're going to slap on the Rush Dungeon set, okay? And we're going to slap on the 1000 Blow set to see what actually does the most damage. All right, we got to do that again because I didn't have my controller turned on. Not bad, huh? I do that a lot whenever I'm logging into this game. All right. And you guys know how we do it. We're just going to wait till the awakening skill's ready to go, and we're just going to plow through our skills. I'm not going to bring in Chun-Li as a striker. And I'm just going, you know, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Pretty astonishing, honestly, how strong Luke is. And 178 million, right? 178 million. I'm going to go ahead and write that down. And let's slap on a different set for the guy. Now, supposedly the Merlin set is the best. This is the first time that I've actually tested this myself, because I always prefer to test things myself because I feel like it's just more concrete evidence, at least as far as how I feel. All right, so we'll slap on these other card sets. Okay, so we'll slap on the Rush Dungeon set first. Wherever it's at, I think I passed it up. Here it is. All right, we'll slap on that 3PG. Slap on this card here because we've had it equipped. It doesn't matter, guys, that these cooldown cards are a little bit different. It's not going to help us damage or change it in any way. And remember, the Rush Dungeon set doesn't have, you know, any Starlight on it, right? So 178 million is the score to beat. All right. Another thing that's nice is that since Chill is what actually does the most damage to the spider robot in the very beginning, these tests with Akuma and Luke won't affect that at all. Okay, and yeah, man, I can definitely see a pretty big difference here with this set. And it makes perfect sense in all honesty because this set doesn't have an increase in Starlight. Right? I mean, 123 million. Wow. So much, much worse with the Rush Dungeon set. Oh my God. That's a big, big difference. Okay. So let's slap on the 1,000 Blow set and see how much damage we can do with that. Right? I mean, I am curious about this. And, you know, for those of you that are building Luke, you know, the 1,000 Blow set is, you know, that would be a reason maybe to go for it if you're trying to beef up Luke as much as possible. I would say that I don't think it's needed, in all honesty, guys. There's plenty of card sets in the game that will get it done for you. But if you're trying to get the most damage out of the character, then, you know, the 1,000 Blow set's probably going to end up being the best way to go. There we go. Slap that on, old boy. Put his 3PG on him again. Put this card on him. And rock and roll. It does suck that the 1,000 Blow set doesn't give more CP. That's kind of a bummer. All right, so 178 million is what we got with the Merlin. Let's see what this set gets. And there's, I mean, guys, like I always mention this, but there's always variables in these runs, like depending on how many critical hits you do. Although with a character like Luke, he doesn't do a lot of hits. He just hits really, really damn hard. So critical hits won't play as big a factor, I think, with him as other characters, but it does play a factor. Okay. All right, man, my nose is itching like crazy right now. I want to scratch it. All right. And I think we actually did an extra skill. We'll just go ahead and use that skill. But, I mean, 139 million. Wow. Wow, man. So, I mean, yeah, it does more damage than the Rush Dungeon set, but not by a huge margin, right? Excuse me here. Not by a huge margin, right? It's not by a huge amount. And maybe the run wasn't perfect. Maybe I did an extra skill on the Rush Dungeon set, but it's fairly close, right? The Merlin set is definitely the best for Luke. And really, guys, just from that test we just did, just from this one little test, right? Maybe we need to do a few more, right, to get a bit more accurate assessment of what's the right thing here to do. I think that the Rush Dungeon set, even though it doesn't have Starlight on it, it's still a really good set for Luke compared to the 1,000 Blow set. I mean, yeah, the 1,000 Blow set did more damage, but it wasn't like some insane difference like it was with the Merlin set. I mean, the Merlin set, we did 178 million, right? And with the 1000 Blow set, we did 139 million. I mean, that's a pretty big difference, right, in damage. So now we got a character that actually has a relevant dot for the Rush Dungeon set, okay? So let's see what we do with this set, and then we'll test with the 1000 Blow set, right? And all the feedback that I've been getting so far is that the Rush Dungeon set is actually the best for Akuma, for Chun-Li, and for Ryu, because they all have those relevant shocks that set buffs up by 75%, which makes perfect sense. All right. All right, here we go. Let's do it. Go, 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 go. And boom. Whoops. Look at Akuma go, man. Dude's freaking a monster. I didn't mean to hit that, guys. We had 414 million. We had 414, we'll say 419 million. I guess I'll just hit my default afterwards. So 419 million, and that was with the Rush Dungeon set. Damn, that's a pretty insane score, by the way, right? We weren't even applying chill. Just imagine we've been applying a chill. We've done way more damage. But that's not the objective of this video, right? So now we'll slap on the paywall set, right? The banner set, to see how much damage we do with it. Alrighty. It's always in the spider robot that you have a little bit slow UI. Okay. Where are you at? There we go. It really does kind of bum me out that we don't get that much CP extra from this set. That's a shame, man. That's a shame, especially considering the set only applies to Street Fighter characters. That's another thing about the 1000 Blow set that kind of sucks, is that it's only for those characters, and yet it doesn't even give more CP, right? It might give more damage for certain characters, but not more CP, right? And after we see this damage test, then we'll have a better idea of like how relevant this 1000 Blow set really is for players. All right, here we go. So I need to remember to do that default at the end. But before I did the default, it was 414 million. All right, here we go. And we'll do the default, just like we did a second ago. I mean, wow, 370 million. 370 million. And we did about 420 million with the free set from the Rush Dungeon. Oh my God, right? And it's just weird that Netmarble chose to go this route. So you can pretty much assume that for Chun-Li and for Ryu, the Rush Dungeon set is going to do the most damage. I'm not going to do those tests today, guys, because the video would be way too long if I did. But you can pretty much assume that it would turn out that way, right? So the 1000 Blow set, yeah, it's good for Luke. But in the test we did, it didn't do that much more damage than the actual Rush Dungeon set, even though there wasn't Starlight on the Rush Dungeon set, right? It did a little bit more damage, but it wasn't some insane amount. And that's kind of the thing. It's like, is that set really worth going for? I mean, maybe for Bison, maybe it would be worth it. Like, I don't know. And a lot of players are going to use Bison as a support character. So, you really don't need it for that. If you're just using him as a support, you definitely don't need the card set for that. But I mean, you know what? We can do a real quick test, guys. This set here actually increases darkness by 75%. And we can go ahead and change this card here to a cooldown card. It really doesn't matter. Bison doesn't get any attack based off defense. And we'll slap this 3PG on him. We'll just put the 1 3PG on him. And this set does increase darkness by 75% and active skill damage by 23%, right? And, we can see how much damage we do with this set, right? versus the 1,000 Blows set and versus the Rush Dungeon set, right? So now I'm really curious. So this video probably will end up being a little bit longer than what I actually was anticipating. Come on, let's go. Okay. So we just wait and wait and wait. I'm not going to bring in Kula. And so, I mean, we're going to let the darkness fade here. And the darkness is done. We still got some poison applied. So we got 99.7 million, right? 99.7. And that's with the 7 nights set. All right. So we'll slap on the 1,000 Blow set and see what happens. Okay. 1,000 Blow set and the Rush Dungeon set. Why not? Why not? I wasn't planning on doing a test with Bison, but now I'm actually curious, especially since the turnout we had with Luke. All right. Okay, so let's slap on the 1,000 Blow set, right? And again, it doesn't matter, guys, that we got different cooldown cards. It doesn't matter at all. We just make sure we equip the same 3PG. This is the only one with skill level 10. And let's do it to it, right? And see how much damage we get here. You know, I don't know. I don't know. All right. Let's do it to it. And, okay. So, I mean, we did do more damage. You know, like we're looking at 107 million right now. Poison still applied. 107.3 million, right? 107.3 million. And that's with the 1,000 Blow set. Wasn't a huge difference between that and the 7 Night set. But again, the 7 Night set bumps up his darkness damage. So, now let's slap on the Rush Dungeon set, right? And even though he's not going to get any extra darkness from the Rush Dungeon set, what kind of damage are we going to do with that set? All right. Let's find that set real quick here. There we go. It's going to be pretty wacky if this doesn't do that much. Like if this does almost the same amount of damage as that 1,000 Blow set. Because honestly, guys, so far the 1,000 Blow set really isn't impressing me that much. It's not really doing that much more damage than the Rush Dungeon set for Luke. And we're about to find out if it does more damage than the Rush Dungeon set or how much more damage it does than the Rush Dungeon set for Bison. Right? Is there really a huge difference? Because so far I'm not really seeing a big difference. All right. And I'm trying to use my skills the same amount of times, even though we might get a reset on different runs. And no, we did the default. Damn it. I didn't want to do the default, but I mean, 99 million, guys. It's right. Actually, a little bit less, but we'll just say 99 million. We'll let the darkness fade. I mean, the default does add damage, but I mean, seriously. Like 90, 95 million, something like that. So, I mean, it's like, I mean, yeah, it does more damage. Like it did less damage than the 1,000 Blow set. The 1,000 Blow set did 107 million and the Rush Dungeon set did, you know, about 95 million. It's not a big difference, right? I mean, it's somewhat of a difference, especially over a good long time span, but is it really worth pulling for? Because like, it seems like Luke and Bison they benefit obviously from using the Thousand Blow set, and it's probably going to be the best set for them. But is it a substantial enough amount for you to want to pull for that set, especially since the set doesn't even give you extra CP? Like, personally, guys, I feel like the Street Fighter collaboration characters kind of got shafted with their card set. I don't think they got a very good set card set at all. It really should have more power, or should offer something else like a bunch of extra CP, like what the Dead or Alive card set offered, or what the Guilty Gear set offered. Like that, I feel like this collaboration, these characters got kind of screwed on their card sets. The card set should have been better for them. I mean, it's awesome that the Rush Dungeon set is the best for, you know, Ryu, Chun-Li, and Akuma. That's awesome because it's a free set. That's awesome, and I'm glad they done that. But whenever people are spending money, or whenever people are spending their rubies in those banners, they should be getting a card set that's actually better, right? In all reality, it really should be better because they're spending their hard-earned rubies for those card sets. So guys, let me know what you think about all these tests and the Thousand Blow set. And I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. GMT+7 time. The link is in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See you, everybody.